Hi, in this video we're going to take a look at subtracting two fractions with different denominators, and in this case the denominators are relatively large numbers. We have 45 and 35. So because these are rather large numbers and one of them is not divisible by the other, I would recommend using prime factorization to find the least common denominator. So over here I've done the prime factorization of 45. 45 breaks down to 9 times 5. 5 is prime, and 9 breaks down to 3 times 3. So we can see that 45 equals 3 squared times 5. I've also done the prime factorization of 35, and 35 breaks down to 7 times 5. So our next step is to build the least common denominator. And if we look at the two prime factorizations, the prime factorization for 45 and for 35, we can see that we have the prime numbers 3, 5, and 7. So we're going to choose the largest amount that any single factorization has of each one of those. So for example, if we're looking at 3's, we see 45 has 3 squared and 35 has no 3's as part of its prime factorization. So we're going to include 3 squared. That's the largest amount that any single factorization has of 3's. Then we look at 5's. 45 has 1 5, 35 has 1 5. So the largest amount that any single factorization has is 1 5. So we're going to include 1 5. Then we look at 7's. 45 has none, 35 has 1. So the largest amount that any factorization has is 7, 1 7. So our least common denominator is 3 squared times 5 times 7. If we multiply those numbers together, we'll find out that our least common denominator is 315. So we're going to create equivalent fractions with 315 as our denominator. Hopefully I have enough space here. So if we look, going from 45 to 315, what would we have to multiply by to get this equivalent fraction? Well, what we're multiplying by is 7 over 7. So if we do 22 times 7, we'll get 154. Okay, then we have our equivalent fraction. Going from 35 to 315, to create this equivalent fraction, what we're multiplying by is 9 over 9. Okay, so then we need to do 16 times 9, and that is 144. So now we can do our subtraction. We have 154 over 315 minus 144 over 315. So we subtract numerators. 154 minus 144 is 10. Denominator 315 stays the same. And then last but not least, we have to simplify. And both 10 and 315 are divisible by 5. We know that because any number that ends in 0 or 5 is divisible by 5. So we're going to reduce these by factoring out a 5 from both the numerator and the denominator. 10 divided by 5 is 2, and 315 divided by 5 is 63. So that is how we get our answer to this problem, 2 over 63.